Yeah, yeah. Okay. So we're going to pass the mic back to Ibanga before we take it to the other speakers again. Ibanga, please go ahead. Mr. Ibanga, are you there? I hope Mr. Ibanga can hear me. Please unmute your mic if you're there. Charles, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I think we should just pass the mic around for others to ask questions while we wait for Mr. Ibanga to come back. So you can just take your cue and pass it around like that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pearls. Okay, thank you, Ma, once again. So we're going to pass the mic to, I think that would be Mr. Silas. Mr. Silas.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ibanga. Thank you, Pal, for hosting this space. Professor Okunna, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Silas Obumnemu Denze. I'm a doctoral student in Spain. Coincidentally, I earned my first degree in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Department of Mass Communication.
Really?
Yes, and I was the former president of ASUMAX.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, former president of ASUMAX.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, and I think
when did you graduate? Maybe when I was in government?
Yeah, I graduated 2013 when you were coming back.
Yeah, we were in government, yes.
Yeah.
That's good. Mm.
So mine is a comment as a question, but I really thank you for what you've impacted in us and for how you made us actually got a fully funded scholarship here in Europe. And I've been able, at least I've witnessed the person of Mr. Obi in several occasions. One was when he came to UNIZIC at the Faculty of Social Science lecture series, which was fully supported by Senator Ndiobi.
Yeah, Zik lecture.
Zik lecture series. We were able to see Peter. I was able to see Peter Obi from a very personal level, because I was privileged to be the president of the association then, and we work with other presidents in the faculty. And the way he talked to us, I was like, is this a governor or a commoner like me? And, and on several occasions, I've met him with just only 2 cars at Thames site. He sits on the front.
Yeah, that's where he sits.
He sits in the front with the driver. And I was like, is this a governor? So I am talking from a personal perspective. This is a man that sat some departmental president and faculty president to talk to. And it was like, if every governor could be like this. And I can just imagine, because I really appreciate you, man, because I know Peter Obi chose you because of the kind of person you are. I must commend you the way you remodel our department, the structure you put there for the FM, fully sponsored by you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
But one thing I want to let us know here is that we have to be obedient and useful. Peter Obi is the unifier. That is just the truth.
That's a word.
I have talked to him. And when people say he's going to divide, he's not going to divide. We know they give shishi, just like the professor has contextualized. He no go give you shishi if you are to steal money. He will give you shishi and more shishi if you work. People call him stingy, but he's stingy to the people that want to embezzle money.
Precisely.
That is, he's stingy to people that want to embezzle money. Check the way he dresses. You can see Peter Obi today, you see him next week, you think he has not changed his clothes. He's very frugal. He's a very stained person when it comes to finance. So I must say to the young people, I know how much he invested in education in Anambra State. Virtually every prefect in some secondary school had his number. So my question now, Professor Stella Okunna, is, we know Anambra State and the big politicians and the moguls in Anambra State and the interests. From my perspective, I am seeing that most interest in Anambra State, most political interest, people in Anambra State especially the big wigs, those that always want to maintain the status quo, the conservative, they want the process to remain the way it is. They are not supporting P2B. I might be wrong, but the governor itself, he's shaky. He's not even showing any atom of, oh, this is a man that has worked for this state. Let's stand by him. He has not made any open proclamation of positive support for P2B. How do we get some of these people stand behind Obi, or how do we get them know that Obi means well for the whole of Nigeria? How do we get these people to know? Because Anambra State is not a small state. I know that one. I'm from.
Hello.
Okay, I think. Okay, I think it's
Mr.
having.
Silas, are you there?
I think it's
Yeah,
having.
Can I answer that?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Now, let me begin by saying that today, Peter B met with Soludo today. Have you heard that? They had a meeting today. Yeah, they met today in Oka at the, I think, Governor's Lodge. And it was a private meeting. Is that capacity to unite people? I remember maybe when we came in at the beginning in 2006, Peter B didn't live in Anambra State. So not many people knew him. They didn't quite know how to relate with him. But gradually, all those inhibitions were overcome. And the bishops, the church, the big men, as we call them, everybody rallied around him, apart from those who didn't mean well. Peter Obi so conquered, in quotes, people's resentment, people's opposition, people's uncomparativeness by his very nature. If you see him greet a traditional ruler here, he will almost fall on the ground. They began to love him because they knew the kind of person he was. That kind of modesty is bound to disarm you, no matter how haughty you are. And I keep saying it. Anambra people, even the big men, began to rally around him and to support him. Those who did not were those who didn't mean well, who were not happy that he wasn't sharing the money. Because governors many governors share the money, in millions of it, to people who don't deserve that money. So when you come, you're not sharing, people might not like some people who want the money. I need to emphasize that. So I don't quite agree that there's no opposition. For this crusade now, or this revolution to make him president, there may be people who are opposing for various reasons. One, he PDP. There may be some big politicians who are in PDP who will be resentful. He's rising in popularity. Maybe they are fearing he might outshine their own candidate. It's understandable that they might not support him or like him because they are in their own party. They are card-carrying members of their own parties. That's one reason. But anybody who is neutral, I don't see them fighting him. If you're talking about politicians, there's nothing we can do about that. What we have to do is simply to become obedient and more useful and mobilize. If everybody who is not a card-carrying member of a political party votes for him, understands him, I don't think the political party candidates and their supporters will defeat us. So yes, there are people who will not like him. And the reasons for not liking him could be various. Political reasons or financial reasons, because they're not seeing the money they might want to see. You'll forget that by this time in electioneering, when presidential elections are so close, money will be swimming, everybody will be swimming in money now. So that kind of group who will have been getting hundreds of millions of naira from prospective candidates will not like him because he will not give. So I want to believe that those who mean well, I've said this several times, who understand what he's trying to do. Who in Nigeria doesn't know what Nigeria is going through now? Who here doesn't know how bad this country is now? Who doesn't know the insecurity? Who doesn't know the hunger, the poverty? Who doesn't know what is going wrong in this country? Anybody who has seen all this, who desires a new Nigeria which is better, no matter whether whether you're a small man or a young man, an old man or a youth, we love Peter Obi for what he's trying to do. That's all I can say there. Yes, there was opposition when we came in, but gradually, in all honesty, opposition was overcome by his calmness, by his lack of ostentation, by his being down to earth, by his respect for people, even younger people than him. He respects everybody. They began to come around and they supported him. Going forward, I'm very confident that people will eventually flock around him when they understand how bad this country is, when they appreciate what he's trying to do and how he wants to do it. They will come around. I'm confident about that. And I'm also very confident that our governor here will eventually support him because he knows. I think they were even personal friends before they joined politics. He knows him. He understands him. I'm even thinking, I don't know who is the godfather of one, whether it was Soludo, who is godfather of Peter Obi's child, or Peter Obi, who is godfather of Soludo's child. I don't know, but they were close. Politics will not divide them for long. This meeting is a very big step in the right direction, and I foresee things turning around. Everybody supporting him. That's what I think. Yeah?
Okay, madam, let me come in here. We are talking about 6 months into office. He was impeached by members of the House of Assembly over issues of money. Now, after that, even when he did not have a single member of his party in the House of Assembly, he was able to work with that House of Assembly members and deliver everything he did in Anambra State. How was this possible?
You're beginning to see where I'm going now in this direction. I said, eventually people who understand him and know how well-meaning he is, and know how much he loves Nigeria and loves Anambra State and loves every part of the country, how much he desires the progress of this nation, how much he's pained by the disaster going on in Nigeria today in bad governance. Once they understand that, they will support him. You are right. When we came in 2006, I think virtually every member of the House of Assembly was PDP. It was the only, so to say, the only party in Anambra State. There was resentment when he came in because he had removed a PDP governor. There was resentment. That was what led to the impeachment. How could somebody say you budgeted hundreds of millions of naira to repair things burnt down by reactionary forces, political thugs, so to say, and somebody repaired it with about 1/10 of what you budgeted? You say he didn't do a due project. That was when the bad blood was there. Eventually, when he came down, and really he didn't start serious work because of all the rivalry until about 2008 or thereabout. But when he began working, when even that same House of Assembly began seeing what he was doing, when they began seeing where the money was going to, even if they were not getting it as dash, all of them eventually came around. And remember, the vision of the state under PTB was to achieve the MDGs. At that time, MDGs were the in thing about delivering democracy dividends and doing well. He adopted it because he saw all the goals of the MDGs were pointing in different sectors. It was a multi-sectoral program. And he cashed in on it and began to work in all the goals, all the sectors touched by the MDGs. Was it not the same House Assembly that was approving our budget? They all came around when they saw our well-meaning. There could have been one or two who were recalcitrant because maybe they were greedy or not, but I think the House eventually worked very well with him. And he achieved tremendous results. I'm even now trying to put together a brief, maybe a small publication showing what we did in government, to complement what people like you are doing online. So I think everybody should relax. Yes, you are right. At least you know the history of Anambra State. The House was all in the opposition. The House was antagonistic. The House impeached him. But by the time we left there was still a number of people who were not in Africa who were in the House. And all of them were partners in progress.
All right. That takes me to a very important issue, internally generated. Because Anambra was not getting so much, it was not an oil producing state at that time. And needed funding so much. What was the level of internally generated revenue in Anambra? And the money, the government get the money to do all that it did, those agencies.
I don't have the figures from in memory. Like Peter, he can rattle off statistics and figures. I don't have that capacity. So I don't know what the internally generated revenue was in terms of figures, how much. But I know it wasn't much. It wasn't much at all. And that is why one of the fears we had at the beginning. How was he going to do this? But again, beginning with his frugality, we've said this several times here, he cut off everything that was money draining, that wasn't relevant. So that was a big boost to saving money to do the many things he did. That was number one. Again, his lack of ostentation. I'm sure you will have heard about his security vote. Governors, even up till now, take millions and millions of security votes. Even some of their wives even took security votes. Peter didn't take much. So what he saved in the hundreds of millions he could have taken a security vote, he applied to the work we were doing. That's again frugality and good governance. Above all, we had partners. People supported him from outside Nigeria. Even within Nigeria, some of the Nigeria Anambra big men also supported him. In this capacity, in this direction, virtually every development partner, I was the coordinating commissioner for development partnership and donor agencies. And I know the amount of money that came into Anambra State from these partners. And don't begin to think that partners were everywhere. They were not everywhere. They were in states where the governors meant well. The states where they were confident that the governors will use the money they brought to do the work they brought the money for. States where there was accountability. States where governors were not embezzling money. One of the things that was done when we were in government was the Governors Forum, in partnership with DFID, began what they called the peer review mechanism, where the governors peer reviewed themselves. And we were the first, Anambra was the governor, we was the first to volunteer willingly to be peer reviewed. That means DFID partners came in to pour over every document and see what he was doing. And at the end of that, he came out in flying colors. He did all that, even in UNICEF. UNICEF so supported us. It was amazing. I was UNICEF authorizing officer for Anambra State. That means I was, apart from Governor Obi, he sent the money to our ministry at the beginning of the year, and I was authorizing what it was. And UNICEF was breathing down our necks, looking at everything we did. And they were happy. Other partners were there. DFID, UNICEF, World Bank, we were in rollback malaria, we were in Fadama 3. What are the other partners? Virtually every one of them. The European Union, in the water sector and sanitation sector, they were powerful there. And remember in Abuja Lodge, Governor's Lodge in Abuja, was there guzzling money with a lot of staff employed there, drivers, cleaners, cooks, everybody doing nothing until Peter Obi gave it out free of charge to UNDP. And their support was marvelous. So partnership, the most basic partnership was the MDG's partnership. As soon as he chose MDGs as his vision, he began to really fund it well. He began to really implement MDGs programs using our needs. Eventually, he won the best governor in MDGs implementation in Nigeria. Even when he had left government, he still was invited to New York to come and talk about his experience. So the MDGs partnership was there, funding MDGs program in partnership with Anambra State. And he was meticulous and prompt in paying Anambra State counterpart funding. So once the partners put in their money, he was always ready and prompt in putting on the counterpart contribution. And the partners were watching. They were observing. We had a budget forum organized by my ministry every year before we at the beginning of before we met we prepared the budget in my ministry also. We invited everybody to come and make an input, so we didn't waste the money. So he was frugal, he was money conscious without being miserly. I don't believe this miserly thing, because he was spending billions. So all these things made him save every kobo, made him use less every naira purposefully, made him retain his partners who supported him with a lot of money. That was how he achieved all those things. And in addition to everything we did here, he didn't borrow. And by the time he left, he didn't raise any bonds and he didn't owe anybody. I think it is sometimes I wonder, I think it's magic. But it wasn't magic, it was just a man who meant well, who had capacity, who loved his people, working for them selflessly, using every kobo of government money to work for the people. I think that's how he achieved it. There's no other way to it. It wasn't magic. In spite of the small IGR, internal revenue coming in, he still accomplished much, much more than anybody else who could have been in that kind of mega money coming in. It was careful planning. And like I said, nothing he did that wasn't planned. And when because he kept saying, if you don't plan well, you're planning to fail. If you don't know the road, any route can lead you anywhere. So he sat down, weighed his options, knew what he wanted to do, found the money from his partners and from the IGR we had, and used every kobo frugally and meticulously. That was how he achieved all those results. It wasn't magic or witchcraft.
Thank you so
Hello?
much, Ma.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we're still here. I really appreciate you taking out the time to, give us so much
Umbang,
information.
just 1 minute.
Yes,
Just 1 minute.
Yes, Bishop, please go ahead.
Please, we want to reduce the timing for questions to about 2 minutes, because we have a lot of people here who are interested in asking questions, and we want to give. Yes, ma. We have over 54 people requesting the
Oh
mic to
my
us.
goodness.
Yes, to ask you questions. And then we also have close to 10 people. So about 64, 65 people are waiting to ask you questions. I don't know. So we need to really reduce the time. Okay,
Okay.
we need to reduce the time. Okay, so we're gonna take 2 minutes for questions, or if you go above the 2 minutes, please we'll come in and we'll ask you to stop so we can have other people ask questions, and um, mommy can take her time to answer. Thank you, mommy. Mommy Stella. I mean, you're first a mother before you were a professor, so I call you Mommy Stella. I'm so sorry. Let me take that
That's what my
exception.
mentees call me. They call me Mommy Prof. That's
Hey,
my name.
mommy, yes, mommy, bro. So,
Or
I mean,
Mommy Stella.
I want to take that exception. So, thank you, Ma, for taking out your time to be here. We really love you. So, I'm gonna give the mic now to my co-host Umbang. Umbang, please, you have the mic now. Let's move.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Honestly, I was going to really thank Mommy for taking out her time to be here and not just answer the questions, but answer them with so much information and so much feedback that we can learn more than one or two things from a question that was asking one thing. Okay, so let's go back to other speakers on the speaker section. So we have Kweku. Kweku, your hand is raised up. Please, can you make your question under 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Quickly, are you there? You can unmute your mic and speak. Quickly.
Let's take other speakers. Thank you. We'll take down quickly when he or she he's ready. He will come up. I think he's having some network interference
Okay.
yeah. Let's go.
Okay, let's go to Blossom very quickly. Blossom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Mine is not really a question, yeah. I just want to give a big shout out to my
Hmm.
so a woman I love so much. I was so excited when I saw Auntie Stella. Auntie Stella was here. She is someone that I love with all my heart. Like she knows literally. Like she's been a mentor to me for as long as I can remember. Like I had to tell Phil, Phil, please, I just want to talk. Like I just want to like give a shout. In case she didn't tell you guys who she is, obedient, please follow her back to back. She is the only person that can talk about his excellency. Like this woman has followed his excellency right from time when he was a nobody till this point. And I remember when she was a commissioner for education, I was still then back in school and I was always going to her office all the time with complaints, telling her things. And she's always listening to me every freaking time I come to her office. I love her from my heart, like deep down my whole heart. I love her so much. And like we've been communicating since then till this day. And Auntie Stella, I'm so grateful to you for being a part of this movement.
Oh my
Like,
goodness. My dear Blossom, how are you?
I'm fine, Ma. I'm so grateful that you're part of
No,
this movement.
I'm so happy to hear from you. Did you tell them you are a very brilliant young woman? Did you tell them?
They know.
Did you tell them when you were like you worked at ABS? Did you tell them that when
No,
I
they
was commissioner for information and you were good, you were brilliant.
Mommy, if you tell
Blossom
her
is
this,
a very
people like us will
honestly, no,
die.
no, no. It's okay. Blossom, greetings, oh my dear girl. Well done, oh.
thank you so much, Ma, for being a part of this movement. We love you
Are
so
you are
much.
you obedient? Or
I
you are
am more than
obedient?
obedient, Ma.
Okay, oh, well done, my dear girl. Well done, oh.
Thank you. That is all I want to say.
Mm.
I'll go back to the listener section. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you,
Uh-huh, my
David.
dear. Thank you.
Job everything. Thank you.
Wow. You officially have a growing fan base, and I'm
Blossom,
there to,
blossom,
Yeah.
I'm on the
I,
blossom.
queue.
I have a formal mentorship group, Professor Okunna's mentees. It's a formal group of young
Wow.
people, mainly in universities, young lecturers whom I'm mentoring seriously, formally. And then I have political mentees, or I have academic mentees, I have political mentees, and I have social mentees. So it's been an awesome life, honestly. Go on, let's hear more questions.
Yes, yes, mommy. Thank you
Mm.
so much. Okay.
Sorry, Umbang.
Mhm.
I
Okay,
want
Bishop, go ahead.
Blossom. You came here. This my new mod I adopted. You came here and
Bishop,
you
leave
blew
me alone.
up this Blossom. Blossom, Pacharanya now. Please take your time, please. See the way you make me tell us. I don't like it because thank God you're talk. Let me even take you down. Thank you, Blossom, for coming.
Okay, thank you, Bishop. Me, personally, I liked it. We needed to hear that because me too, if not for this section of the space that I am in, I would just be screaming because when I read that article, I was very marveled. Okay, yes. Okay, so let's take um Kelly and then we'll take Dr. Stena. Kelly, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Bank. Hi, Bishop. Hi, Prof. Uh, hi, and
Sorry,
good evening.
Kelly,
Yes.
sorry to interject very abruptly. Just give me a minute. I just want to use this opportunity to please, where I want to use this opportunity to welcome, on this space we have, His Excellency Dr. Chimaroke Inamani, the former governor of Enugu State, Nigeria. Thank
Hmm.
you so much for honoring us. It means a lot that you are here and participating in this conversation, and even if you're listening, we just know that your presence here, we just want to honor you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Kelly, please go ahead. And my apologies once again. Thank you.
Okay, Bank. Uh, Good evening, Professor Stella Okunna, and thank you for gracing us with your presence. We do appreciate it. I have, I think I have maybe two quick questions. The first one is I want to applaud His Excellency Governor Peter Obi's work ethic and work rate. But I would like you to see if you could shed a little light about it. There was something you mentioned. It appears like he has a lot of trust trust with people, that even when he has not met them before, he can work with them. How does he source for information? It appears like from what we have seen so far, when an issue is happening, he tries to nip things in the bud very early and very pragmatic, and uh, also like reaches out to people very often. Given his kind of workload and what we know from our politicians who tend to shy away from having direct conversations, it appears he's a different class and breed of his own. So please, and then the second question is, you talked about the policy document that he used to govern Anambra State, and there's
Yeah.
been a lot of talk currently about him not having a policy document right now. Is this something that he had before he was governor of Anambra State, or was this something that he adopted as Millennium Development Goals when he became governor? Because a lot of people tend to say that he's very sketchy about, the deep dive on how he tends to achieve some of his goals and ambition when he becomes president. Thank you very much.
Very interesting question. Let me begin with the second one. I keep saying, I don't know, I'm not a very patient person, but I'm patient in terms of assuring people that Peter will be, even if you haven't seen the structure now, the whatever, he's going to shine in this job. First of all, I keep saying again, he's a very careful planner. He doesn't do anything haphazard. When he came into government, as I said, the prevailing thing then was MDGs. And the entire world, led by the United Nations, saw the MDGs, and the UN created the MDGs. They saw the MDGs as the yardstick, very effective yardstick for measuring quality of life. Because if you look at the goals, goal 1 on poverty, eradication, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Goal 2 on that, so many goals on women empowerment, on education, on health, on environment, on partnership. All the goals were tailor-made for improving quality of life. So what was he looking for further? Smartly, he looked at all the things, and they were the things he wanted to do for Anambra State. So he quickly adopted the MDGs as the vision of the state. And honestly, I still applaud that vision. And then that's when his structure began, when the planning began. He devised a very strategic, innovative way of implementing the MDGs, of working with MDGs in all the sectors. A strategy he called ANIS, Anambra Integrated Development Strategy. ANIS was tailor-made again for implementing the MDGs, because ANIS, the slogan was developing all sectors simultaneously. You see how it rhymed with the MDGs? MDGs were multi-sectoral, ANIS was also multi-sectoral, so they were a perfect match. And with that ANIS, he began to work on every single goal in poverty alleviation, in education, in health. So he planned meticulously. There was a structure. Somebody who plans well can never do anything without a structure. So those who are thinking the structure is not there, even if it's not there then, but I think it's somewhere is there. Even if it's not there, he will devise it and it will work for him eventually. And I'm sure that is going to be soon. Before the campaigns take off, I'm sure there will be something he'll be implementing. And even people that are beginning, the same people who are saying it's not telling us the structure are also advising us. People every day I get a tweet and say, he shouldn't talk too much. He's talking too much. Let him not show his hand. Let him not show them what he wants to do. Others are copying from him. So which one do we accept? But what I know is that he will meticulously plan this rescue of this country. And that plan will be well made, well implemented, and Nigerians will love it from every walk of life. Does that answer that question? So he had a structure which he devised, MDGs. And I know because I was the chairman of the MDGs implementation committee. So I was chairing the committee that was implementing the vision of Anambra State. Some people even call me here Mama Anit, because we were the people using the Anit, all this state executive, all the commissioners were well selected. Remember, he said why he chose us, whom he didn't even know. He wanted technocrats who were well grounded in their areas of expertise. That was why he could take people like us, whom he thought were good in our areas, without knowing us. Many governors will not do that. First of all, a big man will even dictate to you who to employ. All your friends or your brothers, everybody, the nepotism will flood everywhere. But he wanted people who could work with him. So all the commissioners, all the political appointees knew their onions, and they were supporting this vision and implementing the vision of MDGs using analysts in their various sectors. Does that make sense?
Of course, yes, ma. There's nothing you have not said that does not make sense. Please be rest assured.
So he's how could he have employed people who he didn't know? Because he wanted people who were good in their areas. So whether he knew them or didn't know, maybe he asked for CVs like me. I don't know who gave him my own CV because he said that was he saw and thought I would do well in that area. So in the same way, everybody he picked must have had something recommending that person to him somehow. Even if it wasn't a person recommending the person, it must have been something the person had done in the past on his CV or whatever. The kind of things Soludo tried to do also by asking people to even apply for the jobs and tell us what you can do. We can then pick. Right. So I think the structure was there. MDGs was there, the vision. ANIS was the structure, and ANIS worked perfectly in all sectors. There wasn't a single sector in Anambra State that you couldn't see something that P2B had done there. It was all inclusive. What was the second question? Have I answered it?
Bishop.
Yeah, I think you've answered all the questions now. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. So just because of your time, we're going to go very quickly to Dr. Stella. Dr. Stella is the secretary for the Coalition for Peter Obi. Dr. Stella, please, are you there?
Hello, good evening, Umbang.
Good evening. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Good evening, Bishop. Good evening, Prof. I trust that you are doing okay.
My namesake, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Prof, I'm going to ask you a little difficult question. Maybe because you're my colleague, a senior colleague. Well, I wanted you to tell us the story in how it was possible for Peter Obi to have been the only governor since 1999 that has successfully conducted local government election in Anambra State. What exactly happened? Can you give us the inside picture of the battles that you all were going through at that time, and how did you make it a success? Because the story might be long, I will stop here. If I have another chance, I'll throw in my second question. Thank you.
Now, there are answers I may not have. I don't remember what other governors did before we came in. I don't remember who conducted local government election and who didn't. As a matter of fact, I was living in Enugu when, even though I was teaching in Unizik, I lived in Enugu. So I didn't even see Peter Obi. I didn't know when he campaigned, what he did, and what he said. Because every day I finished my lectures in Unizik, I drove back myself to Enugu. So I may not know what happened in Anambra before I became commissioner. That was when I began to record in my own memory what happened. So I don't know who conducted local government election and who didn't. And if he conducted, but because he conducted, I remember for some time, he didn't really conduct immediately, in all honesty. And there were criticisms that he didn't want to conduct local government election. Most people in Anambra have always used appointed local government chairmen. And that has been a problem. They are beginning to say something now about Solu. The people were thinking he was going to conduct election immediately. He has again appointed people. So it's a common thing among Nigerian governors. I don't remember what was the case when we came in. But I know even Saludo, who was in an appointment, will eventually get around to conducting local government elections. I'm confident that he's going to do that and do it well. So honestly, I'm not sure. What I know is that the local government people were well empowered by the central Anambra state government to do their work. Like when we came in, the secretariats, the working environment, the motivation, all those things were not there in the civil service and local government level. But before we left, if you had gone to, even today, I'm not sure they have built anything new there. The Onitsha local government area, go there and see the structure we put up there. In my own local government, during the conference, it was P2B also who put up a very lovely structure there. So he empowered the local government, whether they were appointed or elected, and they gave their best. Election was a good thing because there were criticisms that local government elections were not conducted immediately. But when he did conduct the election, we chose the best people, like he did at the central, at the state level, and they gave their best. The local government system worked. The money for local government was used within local governments to develop local governments, not when some governors also appropriate everything and forget all the local governments. I don't remember, honestly, but I know the elections were eventually conducted, good people were elected, and they did a good job in each of their local government areas. Does that answer make sense? I don't think so.
It does. Dr. Stena, please tell
yeah.
her that it does, please.
Of course, yes, it does, because she said something about the local government structures and being from Anambra State. Being someone who has traveled to 33 states in Nigeria, I'm talking of within the space of almost every was traveled to 33 out of the state in Nigeria. I know that the local government secretariats in Anambra State all have very wonderful structures, edifices, and they have very beautiful structures, and they are very organized compared to other states that I've been to. Though I didn't know it was P2B that put up those structures, but thinking about it now and knowing that those structures were there before Obiano, so it came to my mind that it was P2B that did those structures. Why I asked then was because people have said that the local government election was conducted a bit late in the last few months of Peter Obi in government, and they felt that it didn't portray him well as someone who was concerned about the grassroots in terms of local government. Some persons believe that because these elections were not conducted on time, it basically meant that Peter Obi didn't do well in terms of local government, and we didn't focus on them in his government. So I wanted you to give us a picture of how local government worked in terms of using the electoral. Did it work using appointed caretaker? Did it work in Anambra State? And to what extent did you think that worked?
I would say it worked very well, but then for a democracy, appointed local government chairman should not be the ideal thing. It worked for us. He appointed, like you said, he was criticized for not conducting elections on time. But remember again, I'm not trying to justify what we did, but remember the bad blood in Anambra State when we came in. There was so much fighting. Remember the Bakassi? At the time we came in, Bakassi people there was a time they were chopping off heads of people who were either proven crime criminals or even suspected criminals. It was that kind of state. Remember when Mbajiju was there, how they claimed that they said that Godfathers held him to ransom. Remember Ngige was kidnapped as a governor. Remember the government house was burnt. The governor's lodge was burnt. That was the kind of thing we met there. So it wasn't any conducive environment. Then he was kidnapped. Then they threw him out after how many months and conducted an election in 2007. And he went to court and fought all the way until he regained his third interpretation. And the court said, no, this man was elected for 4 years. He's done less than 1 year. He must go back and do the remaining years of his, and he came back. Was that the place was going to be conducting elections at local government levels? And I said it before, he didn't begin working. There was no peace of mind. There was no stability. There was no security. There was no conducive environment to work until about 2008. That alone was justifiable reason to delay local government elections. In spite of all that, in spite of being appointed, he still made his mark in local government areas. He built roads to even the remotest areas, even local government areas in Aya Melum, where there were no, we built the first access road to Aya Melum. There were very difficult areas where nobody was even entering in local governments, ignored completely, either with elected people or appointed people. We reached into those remote areas and he did work there. So bear that in mind, there was no way he could have conducted elections once we came in. 2006, impeachment, the same year, end of the year. 2007, election conducted and somebody declared winner. He went to court to go and say, no, I haven't finished my tenure. Up to 2008, with everything, honestly, it was a horrible situation. I'm not justifying that. For me, democracy is democracy at state level, at federal level, at local government level. But there could be, well, extenuating factors, which he eventually tried hard and overcame. And as soon as he overcame, then there was a conducive environment. He did conduct the election, even it was late. And he brought in people who believe in his vision. Luckily, they were elected and the work continued. Go to, like you said, go to every local government area, you'll see P2P's footprints in various ways. Hello?
Yes, mommy, Prof. Sorry, I just wanted to be sure that you were still there. Okay.
No, I'm here.
Thank you.
Here.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Ma. My questions have been answered.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stena, for that. Those questions, rather. I think this keeps the conversation going, and we're hearing things that we may not want to hear, but are factual and speak to character, speak to accountability, tenacity, the competence levels of our preferred candidate, Mr. Peter Obi. Okay. So just to keep the conversation going, we're going to take Kweku. Kweku, we lost you initially. Hopefully your service is better now. Please, can you unmute your mic?
Yeah, I've done that.
Okay,
Hello,
please go
Prof.
ahead. Thank you.
Hello, Prof.
Yeah,
Good evening.
good evening.
It's really good to have you here, and I've enjoyed the session so far. So, quickly, going into an election year, and there are some sensitive topics that, you know, will I say, dubious people would prefer to use to demarcate certain candidates and all that. So I would love to get clarification. So this question borders on P2B's relationship with Northerners in the state when he was governor. There have been rumors, stories, and all that about demolished mosques, deported Northerners, and all whatnot. So we would love to hear some clarification from you. And then the allegation that he made Northerners wear name tags while he was governor and all that. So we would love to hear from you as his one-time chief of staff, whether these things were true. If any of it happened, we would like to get a better insight into why they happened and, how the situation was remedied going forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know the word mudslinging didn't begin today. And particularly in competitions, more horrible things are even going to be said eventually. It's a competition. People are hauling stones and fighting and tearing one another down. Do you know Onisha? I'm asking everybody, do you know Onisha? If you begin from if you begin from up, Upper Iweka, going towards the Niger Bridge, if you around that area, there was a time
Oh, um, is that just me or
No,
we all are
Bishop,
having?
I
Oh
think
my
Mommy
God.
Prof is having connectivity issues. So
Okay.
I think you guys can drop me from.
No, it's a connectivity issue and not a speaker issue. Don't worry.
Yes, no. What I was saying is that Kweku have already asked my question, so you can drop me down. That's the question I've been waiting to ask.
okay, noted. Thank you so much, Harry. That's not a problem. So I'm of the opinion that Pearls is trying to have a conversation with Mommy Prof so that we can get her back on the speaker section. So I'm honestly like the questions that people have asked so far, they have surpassed the kind of questions that I had in mind. Like I know I haven't asked any so far, considering my section in this space right now. I have to give priority to other people. Um so I'm just marveled. If anyone has not read that those articles that are on the JT, the Jumbotron, please do. And you would realize that she has spoken beyond, like she has spoken in regard to the subject matter of Mr. Peter Obi's candidacy for president come 2023, that she has spoken on that much more than she spoke in those two articles. And I'm very honored to be here. I'm actually much more honored to be co-hosting this section, or this space rather. Bishop, are you can you relate to how I'm
Yeah.
feeling right now?
I mean,
Yes.
oh my God, I can't really explain what I feel, but I mean, I'd like to
Yeah.
also make a special request to Uncle Chimaroke Namani. We've seen so many tweets from you lately, sir, and would like to host you in one of our spaces because when people hear you talk, it's different from when they read. That's my own perception about a lot of people. So I'd like you to um, um, maybe follow me back. Then we could schedule a space where you can come and have people ask you few questions. I know I know what has surrounded the media of late, or if you could give us I mean on my platform, of course I'm obedient, and it will be like I'm getting so many DMs right now. Well, I'm gonna
Bishop,
close my eyes to them. But
Bishop, can I just
chill,
say
chill, chill, please, 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 please. Let's hold on, please. I'm so sorry about that. Okay, Sap. This is me now. I followed you back, okay, sir, and I just sent you a hi. Kindly reply. Let's fix a space. I'll schedule a space where you can come and actually give us, even if it's 1 hour of your time, so we can ask you questions and maybe you can answer. Most of the times when you come and you speak to people, I sent you hi on your DM. Oh, thank you for replying, Mister. I'm grateful. Um, Yeah, thank you very much, sir. After the space, I'll communicate with you, and then we'll schedule a space together. I'm very sure a lot of people want to hear you um, answer a lot of questions, and I mean a lot of questions lingering on a lot of people's mind. So thank you very much, sir. Maybe not on this platform because maybe you might be busy doing some other things, but on another day we could schedule a space. Thank you very much, sir. Dear, I'm grateful for that. Thanks very much. This
Let
is
me pitch
politics.
in.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead, go ahead.
Pearls, do you have an update for us before I pitch in?
Yeah, I was just trying to say, Mr. Ibrahim, please check your DM, and we're trying to bring Prof back here. She's having a little bit of network issues, but she will be back here. So let's just keep the conversation going. And thank you very much, Bishop and Mbang, for all you do. Mr. Ibanga, please check your DM. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pearls, as well. So, Bishop, as I was saying,
Imbaga. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
okay,
I
Bishop, I was going to pitch in by
I haven't.
saying that okay,
Okay,
go
go ahead,
ahead.
my dear. Go ahead. No, you speak first. Ladies first.
Okay, so I was going to pitch in by saying that I would also like to lend a voice to plead with His Excellency Dr. Chimaroke to please honor us, because I know how expensive time can be for
No,
people, and
he
then
had honor us. He's actually telling me that
oh
he's available on this space to speak now.
oh
Um,
really?
yeah, he said so.
Okay, that's amazing.
um, okay, sir, please kindly request the mic. I think, while we wait for, okay, yes, while we wait for, mommy Prof to come, let's have Uncle Chimaruke. Please, if you have questions for Uncle Chimaruke, please kindly request the mic. And I mean, let's maintain some certain set of decorum, and let's be civil about this matter. Welcome, sir. How are you doing today, sir? Hello, me Uncle Chimaruke Namani. Good evening, sir.
Unmuted me. Okay, you just
Yeah.
unmuted me.
You're muted now. Go
Yeah,
ahead, sir.
yeah. Good evening. Good evening. Um, I'm quite privileged and honored to be with you. I was some time ago your age. It is indeed probable that at that age today, I may most likely be on your side. There is a wide difference between idealism and practicalism. You see, the democracy we practice is the constitutional democracy, multi-party democracy that are practiced in America. The founding fathers, the 13 colonies, met in 1773 and started an insurrection against the British king. They fought all through to 1783. They declared independence July 4th, 1776. That's the constitutional democracy we practice today, multi-party democracy. I belong to PDP, and you guys mostly belong to Labour Party or have affiliation or favor Labour Party. I'm also part of a political family called the Urban Political Family, practicing essentially in Enugu State, but global somehow. We do have quite a number of urban people who pledge to being obedient. So within the urban family is a contentious debate on who will convince each other. I said contentious debate. Since in urban we don't have
Hmm?
no fathers, we have joiners. We can all come again. To have a multi-party democracy. So you're entitled to what you're doing, Labour or obedient. We're also entitled to what we're doing in PDP. That's the joy of democracy. But I must also say that I admire you guys because you're young people with a destiny on a date with God, and you don't want to wait for your tomorrow. You say your tomorrow is here now. So you have every business, every reason to take control of that your tomorrow now. You don't have to wait. That's I admire your enthusiasm. I admire your guts, your energy, your love and patriotism for Nigeria. All I know is that there is a thin line between supreme confidence and arrogance. There is a thin line between a diplomatic argument and insult. All we try to do is to maneuver the banana peels carefully to then end up insulting people and alienating them. I'm available to answer your questions if
You.
addressed to
Thank
me
you very.
in a civil manner. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely we will. And I think a lot of people, please, if you know you don't have questions for Mr. Chimaroke, can you put down your hand? We said someone just sent me a message. I think I'll be taking messages from mostly. Please, if you have a question and you're not on the speaker session, use the hashtag tell spaces or slide into my DMs and drop your questions, and I'll be asking. And for those on the speaker session, you can request for the mic and ask him on the script your questions. So I want to ask you. Someone said in your speech earlier on, while you were introducing and addressing us as obedient, you call us idealists. I don't know. Can you address that? And
Can you?
from
I guess your this case is being recorded. I never said
yeah,
that. I never
yeah,
said that.
okay.
I said there is a wide gap
From
between idealism
okay,
and practicality. I didn't
okay,
call you idealist, and there's nothing wrong being
okay.
an idealist. Everything starts from an idea. So I did not call you idealist. I believe this is recorded. I said there's a
Yes,
wide
yes,
gap
yes.
between idealism and practicalism. And
Thank you
even
for
if you
clearing
call
that,
me
sir. Thank you for
an
clearing that, sir.
idealist, it's complimentary
Mm.
because everything starts with ideas and vision, right?
Okay, okay. Let's go to the next question now. Um, okay. Saddam. Let me give you the mic to your hands are up. Let me give you the mic to ask Mr. Chimaroke questions. After Saddam, we
I will
take
answer
UC.
questions based on civility. Anything
Yeah,
beyond
definitely.
civility, I'm on my way out.
Oh,
Period.
okay, sir. Can we? Do we still have to schedule a space for you because this once
No, you go ahead, but let's be nice, let's be conscious to each other. Let's
Oh,
respect each
okay,
other.
no problem. Saddam, you have the mic.
Bishop,
Then we'll go to yes, yes.
Well,
Saddam, please give me a moment.
okay.
Please give me a moment. Okay, let me use this opportunity to reiterate the rules because His Excellency is very concerned about our civility. So please, no cursing, no swear words, no sarcastic tones. Just be very direct and hit the nail on the head so that we can be very civil and we can honor his presence here. Thank you so much. Saddam, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, good evening, Abina. Good afternoon. First of all, please, yeah. The topic of this space is heart to heart with Professor Stella. We did not come here for Chimaruke Namani. I'm not here, and I speak for 90% of everybody on this space. I am angry. I didn't come here for Senator Chimaruke Namani. Please, I don't have any questions for him. I don't have any questions for him. He's not in my camp. He's not in my team. He's not fighting for what I'm fighting for. Please, you guys can open a space, schedule it, name it, heart to heart talk with Chimaruke Namani. And those that want to go there, we go there and listen to him speak. With all due respect to you guys, Bishop and I am angry.
I'm angry. I mean, I wanted to host a space just to talk about him, but I mean, I decided to maintain some decorum, and I was called to order. I mean, he's here to answer questions. Most of us, that tweet you would have tweeted, that that I don't know. I mean, I feel we could ask him these questions here while we wait for Mommy Stella. As soon as Mommy Stella is here, I promise you, We're going to go there and we're going to schedule a space for Uncle Chima, okay? Where he will come and answer questions. And then if you wouldn't like to be on that space, it's fine. But I mean, he's here. I know, sir. I would like to tell you, most of your tweet has insulted us as obedience. I would like to tell you that for sure because I have read your tweets, I have looked at them, analyzed them, I tried to read them from your own perspective. I see that they are also insulting to obedience, and I mean I'm getting so many DMs like that. My DMs are blowing up, and these are people who are obedient, and they are really angry. People are angry. I don't know. Would you like to say um apologize? Apologize or take back most of the things you said on your tweets. Would you like to do that? I mean, this is just me asking, and you are in your right not to do so. But if you want to do that, please. I mean, you have the time now. The mics are unmuted, or you can go
Okay,
ahead.
okay.
And,
I got your question. I apologize unconditionally if my writing, my tweet, my engagement have offended any of you. I apologize. It is not meant to be. I was just trying to communicate. Maybe I did communicate in retaliation to being called EWU, being called a criminal by people much, much younger than my children. So I apologize unconditionally. The essence is to engage. The essence is to communicate. So I'm very, very sorry. I apologize.
okay, it is not in my capacity to accept that apology. I accept on my own. So I mean, the rest obedience. You guys can, he has apologized. He has apologized officially. It's a recorded space. He has apologized. I mean, our principal has always taught us to be to be very, very tolerant, and I think we should, in this case, be very tolerant. Okay, Saddam, I'm going to give you your remaining time to finish your submission. And I hope, I know you are calm. I know you are very, very, I know you, my brother. And that apology might mean something or not mean something to you, but I know you are calm now. So, Saddam, please, you have the mic. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Sorry, Bishop, before you go ahead, do you want to just check and see if you can find Prof? Because she is here, but for
Yes, yes.
some reason,
Yes, I'm doing that right now. Pels, you know that glitch we have when we have this kind of people and then we can't find. You know that glitch,
yeah,
right?
I know that.
No,
Yeah,
so
it's just that because
right,
Prof is here, but for some reason I've been looking for her. I can't find her. That's so
we will,
sad.
we will we will search together. Let's go search. Saddam, you have the mic.
Please, Bishop, please. I'm gonna. I think I'm here for Prof. As I said earlier on. Um, uh,
Saddam. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Don't let's not go back and forth now, please. I beg you, in the name of God, please. We might not be able to ask him to take back his word, but he has apologized. I beg you, in the name of God, please. I appeal to our inner sense of, do I call it anger? Please, I beg you guys, in the name of God, eh? Please. I mean, we trashing this here would not change the fact that we are obedient, and we do not stop Ebano from being obedient. I can tell you that Peter Obi will win in Ebano, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. So please, I beg you, in the name of God, or in whatever deity you hold dearest to your heart, please, please, I beg us all, let us kindly let this die. I mean, we will have another space where we can come and air our grievances. But for now that he has apologized, I would want us to please, if you have any questions, then just ask him. But if you don't have any questions, then let us go to the next person to please, I beg us. I know this is not something that most of us want to do, I can get people telling me nice job. I can get people telling me not acceptable. But please, I beg you in the name of God,
Bishop,
I
are you
beg
there?
you, please. Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I lost connectivity for a moment. Um,
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back.
thank
Okay,
you.
let's take Kweku the hustler. Then Aji is here. Kweku the hustler, you have the mic now. Please speak.
Bishop, please don't forget me. Please.
Please, Bishop. Good evening, everyone. Again, Bishop, please, I'm addressing this to you. Please, this space is for a reason. If there is to be any reconciliation with Senator Namani, we can create another space for that. This space is for a particular reason. If Professor Stella Okunna is finding it hard to come back on this space, then we crash the space and create an entirely new one so that we can have her on, so that we can achieve what we came here to do this evening. We did not come here to listen to anybody else. We came here to have a heart-to-heart with Professor Stella Okunna. If Senator Namani has apologized, it is not, the apology should not be forfeit to us. We did not come here to listen to Senator. Any other reconciliation spaces or whatever it is with Senator Namani, it can be scared about the issues that she has already attended to before she lost connectivity. This is my own subject.
Okay, thank you so
Okay.
much,
Okay, thank
Kweku.
you.
Bishop, can you find her now because she just left this space and returned?
Yeah,
She
I
is
can still find her.
requesting the mic. She is
I
here.
can't. I
Oh
can
my
still
god.
find her. It's
Someone is
this is
suggesting I take
chaotic.
everybody down and then maybe
Bishop
that
and
would work.
No,
I
even if we take everyone down, it will not solve that it would not solve that. So what we can do to solve this is we uh can we it's not good to restart the space because it's been recorded. Can she try
Bishop,
again? Why we look for her? Yes, Mbang.
Bishop,
Yes,
um,
Mbang.
just as a middleman, okay, there are many people in our DMs, yours, mine, and Pearl's, saying either one, they don't want to engage with His Excellency, or two, they want to engage with His Excellency. And for the purpose of being able to figure out the balance, why don't we just take one person, and that person is Muhammad Yaya. He has a question for His Excellency, and then after that question, we redirect,
No,
this
no.
conversation.
Let's instead of Mohammed. Mohammed is my brother,
Okay,
and when I say instead
okay,
of Mohammed, he understands. I prefer we take either Dr. Stena or Jack. So,
okay,
Dr. Stena, please, or we take Aji. Either of
okay.
the
You
two.
guys don't want me to speak?
Please
Aji,
let me just say something.
Aji, you go after Dr. Stena. You go after Dr. Stena. Naomi, please, can I just bring you down and bring Jack up? So I'll bring you up later. I promise. Please, I
Bishop,
promise.
Bishop and Pearls, please. After we do that, would we redirect? Let's redirect the conversation back to, our conversation, which is the heart to heart with Professor Stella. I know that this is a moment that we decided to key into, but I think we should also then, after those questions, redirect it back to the conversation that we're having, and instead of crashing
Yes.
the space. Okay.
Okay, guys. I'm sorry to interject right here. Aji, we're gonna give you the mic. But right after Aji has spoken, I've gotten lots of messages saying if we restart this space, she may be, because this space is for her. We came here for her. So I'm gonna just once he's done speaking, please, I crave your indulgence, everyone here. I'm gonna have to end this space and start another one so we can get Prof
Yes,
back on board.
hold on, please.
Please.
Hold on, let me give you a solution to not being able to find her, because it happens usually with the iPhone devices. If you're not able to find her, what you can do is that the easiest part is that the co-host then go back up as co-host, or the co-host comes down temporarily, you put a new co-host to just accept her request while the other co-host is returned. Something like that. It works very quickly. Now, if you will permit me to just speak on the Dr. Namani being on this space, uh, first Bishop Mbang, I've never engaged Dr. Chimaroke. I really don't care. I just see him like every other person. So what he says doesn't bother me. But then I just want to appeal to you guys. You can force people into a reconciliation of what they have not discussed. It goes beyond people just saying, I am sorry. You must understand the point where he, Dr. Chimaroke, is also talking from. So you can't force him to say he's sorry just because you want this space to go on. So I would just advise that we quit talking about uh, his own issues, because the topic of this space is with Stella. So we just move on and just forget about it. If he wants to ask Stella a question or contribute or add to what she's saying, what you know is a different thing. But for it to be about him and people asking questions, why? The person we are waiting for is waiting. Please, can you do the co-host reshuffle, and then we'll see if that works. Thank you.
Okay, so now you want me to take down the both co-hosts and put someone else, or how do you want me to?
Yes. Then the person would get her request. Then you can return the co-host that was there before.
Okay.
No, you just take down one person. You take down one co-host, then you bring in. Let's take down either me or Nbang, and then you bring in let's say Kweku or Jack or Dr. Stena.
Host.
A big
I
dude.
did, I didn't come here to talk. I'm just like any other observer. You guys requested me to say something, so I didn't come here to interject in your space. I'm just like any other Nigerian on Twitter, listening to you guys. So you can go ahead. I didn't. You were the one that